Oh, you're a G. So we're streaming somewhere.
It ain't on there.
Yeah, I know. Go live. Says we're live. Are we live? Doesn't look like we're live.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, we're live? Bet. Alright, so let's just do this.
Let's go. I found Christ in my life, changed it, saved my soul, now say his name, yeah. Jesus is my Novocaine, yeah. Jesus is my Nova. Jesus don't say.
Boom. I was trying so hard to time that right because it just plays on a loop.
Good.
What's good, guys? Welcome to the revolution. I'm here with a... Oh, that's so cool. It worked. I'm here with a good friend of mine, co-worker. I don't know this man. He just brought me into his house.
He found me behind a dumpster.
But his name is Lean, like codeine. It's Iean Thompson. Which I just realized earlier, if you look on there, I spelled your name wrong. Oh, no, not on there, but on the thumbnail.
Oh, you're good.
Look.
Everyone in kitchen, in the cafeteria section of where we work, everyone there thinks my name is Lean. Every single one of them.
Look, I put Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson. It's me.
But, anyways, we're going to get to know Iean and then figure out if he's a good person or not.
I'm not.
I'm not. But anyways, before we get started, I told you I was going to do this. Check out the church merch.
It's very hyped. Very hyped.
Check out the church merch. And
highly recommend you go to their website.
you know what's crazy is I was just about to say that. I've been talking to some of the people, and I've been trying to get them to put it on the website, but it's not on the website. So you got to come get it in person. So you got to come to church.
Well, that's for, a small section. Take a little bit of growth, a little bit of time. Maybe you'll get there. Maybe I'm spewing stuff.
What are you spewing about?
I'm just talking words. I don't know if you're gonna get that on a website or not.
No, I'm trying to get them to get it on the website. I don't think they've thought of it.
Does it come with bracelets?
No, I own these.
Oh, you don't own the clothes? Okay.
I own those too.
Okay.
Anyway, so I got my questions pulled up. So is there anything you want to say? Oh, he's a gamer with long hair. I forgot that part.
I am.
We're struggling a
As
little
you can
bit.
see, it's
Alright, we do it
pretty
live.
It's pretty far out there.
It's pretty far out there. My hair's starting to come back. I'm glad I wear a hat all
You
the
gonna
time.
pull off a mullet?
But, bro, I thought about it. I really have been thinking about it. Do you have the chat on there?
Do I have the chat?
Yeah, but it's like delayed, ain't it? Let me see if I can.
Well, there's gonna be a delay.
There's gonna be yeah.
Because they're using your hotspot, it's gonna be like super laggy.
Super loud. It's alright. Okay, but you can see who's watching, and if they do chat, you can see that, so.
I can also see what they see, and that's what it looks like to them.
No, it ain't.
Yeah. Anyone who's watching, that's what
It looks like that to them.
Yeah, that's what... No, that's what we see, because that's an instant playback of what the camera is seeing.
So it looks...
But then it's having to get uploaded live.
It looks
This
frozen.
is what they see, yeah.
Dang, dude. And we don't got no Wi-Fi.
No. That's why I said, if you want it, what I can do...
We do it live, guys. We might have to restart.
Yeah. It'll be okay. We'll do it better when we do take two.
Take two will be great.
Take two would be great. So I can move this over here and watch this.
Should I stop it?
Yeah, pause this. Or yeah, stop it.
No, let's do it. Let's do it live. Dude, you're knocking my dragon over.
It's not yours.
It's not yours.
What we should do, maybe, since...
It's gonna be the best podcast ever. Already started.
I mean, I can message my roommate and see if he'll give me the Wi-Fi. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Can you call him? Put him on the podcast?
Can I call him and put him on right now?
You're like, we're live on air. It's not really live though, it's a little delayed. So let me see what I'm seeing, because I don't see what you're seeing. Does it look the same for me? It's because my service doesn't work out here. Oh, it is freezing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. For us, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks like everything's working for us.
That's because it's an instant.
How does it
playback of what
sound?
we're seeing.
Does it sound good?
Does it sound like?
Oh, they can hear that. I don't want that.
Well, I mean, they can hear this. It's not
So the
live.
sound's not cutting out, it's just the video. No, that's what we see. Oh, he messaged you back.
Okay.
So am I gonna have to like disconnect from Wi-Fi to get yours?
Yep.
Is it that one?
Yep. You're gonna have to completely scrap, and we're gonna have to restart.
Alright, we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned. Like stream, okay. Like stream, okay.
And now.
Refresh your thing.
Completely scrap. Alright, we'll be right. And now this is what it should look like. So.
We do it live, guys, and we're beginners. Okay, it's not laggy.
2, 3. So there's a little delay.
Yeah, that happens, but it's not lagging. That's the point.
Yeah. I'm just saying how long the delay is. It's like a 10-second delay.
Yeah.
That's not too shabby.
Yeah, that
And now
We
it's
can-
much cleaner.
we
And
can
the
do it
audio
then.
sounds much better.
Alright, anyways, so restart. Church merch.
Let's get everyone closer.
Let's get closer, guys. Church merch, yeah, you can see that now.
The Journey Church.
The Journey Church.
Because what is a good religion without
Without a
the
journey,
journey?
right? Good.
Much like the Romans, whenever they, I think we should move on. You know what?
What did the
Better
Romans
yet,
do, Ian?
how about we jump back even more and we go to the Vikings?
I don't know
Because
about
they
the
had
Vikings,
religious
bro.
pillaging.
I don't know what
man.
that is.
You don't know what a Viking is?
If you drink your water, you gotta turn them back because we're not sponsored by them. Ozarka should sponsor us though. That would be dope. Is that only Arkansas?
It
It says Texan, so I guess not.
Hey, if it's from Texas, it must be. It must be.
Oh, I forgot we were supposed to talk like that. That's why I made the thumbnail Cowboys.
Oh, yeehaw, partner. If you ain't walking up in here, this saloon, in your snake boots, spurred out,
Bro,
who do you think you even are?
oh, I don't want to. I can't pull up stuff on my phone because I can't show you and Merv. But I'm looking at a pair of boots that are freaking nice.
These are the shoes I'm looking to get. They can't see them, but.
Those are ugly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet they're really good on your feet though while you're working
Yeah.
outside. Yeah.
That's why I want them.
Alright, so Iean Thompson, gamer, long hair, great guy.
Yeah, debatable. They'll find
Debatable.
out.
A little bit. It's a rocky road. But
It's a rocky road, yeah, there we go. There we go.
so first thing I have is tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get to where you are today?
So, if I'm honest with you, currently sitting here doing a podcast with you is not something I would normally do. And for about, I don't know, ever since I was maybe 12, I've been very reclusive and like stay to myself. I don't like interacting with many people. I've had one best friend my whole life. I've had 4
What
friends.
does reclusive mean?
I've had 4 friends since then. Say I'm antisocial, but
So, yeah, you're
I think it's a
antisocial.
crude nature because I don't really get anxious around new people. I do fine talking to people, but I have resting bitch face. So a lot of people don't like talking to me because they think I'm just angry all the time. Now, if you ask one of my 4 friends, they'll tell you I'm angry all the time. I'm not an angry person.
That is true. I don't know if he's counting me as one of his 4 friends.
I am.
Whenever I got moved departments at work.
See, it was busy. I wasn't mad at you. It was busy.
Well, we worked together for the rest of the day, and then I asked him probably 30 times, "Why are you mad at me? I'm sorry."
I'm not mad. I promise. I'm not mad. I swear. Cross my heart. But, no, ever since I could, sat in my dad's lap playing video games. Started in World of Warcraft and Diablo 2. They've hooked me ever since. I know a lot of people can't get into video games. A lot of people use them as an escape, and that's fine. That's naturally what they are.
The healthiest way to escape.
I don't know. I feel like a hike or going outdoors and like trying to catalog your thoughts is better.
Work, bro. Because like a lot
and after a long day, who wants to go on a hike?
Especially depressed people, they don't want to go outside.
Debatable.
At least I didn't whenever I was depressed, because.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it depends on where you are depressed and how your life is around you.
Yeah.
Because I struggle with suicide and depression all the time. But you wouldn't know that.
No, and that's the scary part about it, you know?
Yeah.
I seen a video, and it was like a depression ad. And it was saying...
You won't know it until it's too late.
Yeah, it like showed 2 guys. You might have seen it, it's like been trending. But they were like at a game together, and then one guy seemed super depressed, and the other guy seemed super happy. And they would keep going to these games together. And then finally, the last scene is the guy that seemed super depressed is there, but the guy that seemed super happy was gone.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I've seen it.
And that's deep.
As I was saying, games, favorite pastime of mine. Since WoW and Diablo 2, they kind of had a stranglehold on me. I still play them to this day. It wasn't until Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 that I really started to branch out.
Is that the new Modern Warfare 2? The old Modern Warfare 2.
The better one.
Oh, no, that's not green. It's brown.
Yeah.
Brown logo. Xbox 360.
The better one. That was the first game I really branched out to and started playing, and that started my love for Call of Duty. But
great series.
I didn't take playing them serious till Black Ops with zombies. I'm a zombies kid.
Black Ops 1?
Yep, Black Ops 1.
What's your favorite Black Ops of all?
What's my favorite Black Ops of all? I'd say it's probably 3.
What? That's my least favorite.
So, 1, I enjoy 1. It's got nostalgia, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it in a good way. But 1 felt like a good beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 felt like the next step, and it continued a good thing. And then 3 felt like
off the wagon.
Up there. To me, it felt like it was up there. And then 4 felt like it was like, oh, what are we doing now?
I don't think I even played 4.
4 felt like it was, what are we even doing now? I don't know. My favorite Call of Duty, though, is Infinite Warfare.
So you like the exosuits?
Yes, the advanced movement system.
I didn't like that.
I love the advanced movement systems.
But so I would say I like Black Ops 1 for the nostalgia, and then Black Ops 2 is probably my favorite.
That's fair. 2 is a good one.
I like Transit. I liked
what? Okay.
Is that not Black Ops 2?
Yeah, it's Black Ops 2. That's not a good map, though.
Well, I like both of them, too. What was the one where you could pack a punch? Town? Is that what it was called?
The smaller one, yeah.
You didn't like Transit, bro? You don't have, like, no memories of, like, your friends leaving you behind on the bus and, like, you have to run through and stab those things
off? That's not a fond memory. That's not a fond memory. I do remember it, but it's not fond.
I liked the guns. I was a big fan of the guns. The Peacekeeper, you had to buy it on the DLC. Probably the best gun I've ever used in a game. The Ballista, best sniper ever made. The DSR 50, second best sniper ever made.
I was gonna say, I like the DSR, but alright. I mean, none of it tops the intervention, but yeah.
And then also, I don't know. I wasn't always really big on Call of Duty. I was big on Black Ops, not Call of Duty very much. But One in the Chamber.
I never really branched much multiplayer. I played a lot of domination and team deathmatch because I just wanted camos.
See, nowadays on Modern Warfare 3, I only play one game mode, and it's Search and Destroy.
I stopped playing Call of Duty once they started redoing the Modern Warfare series.
Well, it's not a redo. It's different.
I know.
They have, like, some old maps, but it's cool. Like, I like playing on Terminal. But
The way I see it is it's like, it was good during the time, and someone who is from the time will understand that. Whereas the new generation will be like, it's cool being able to relive some moments, but in a newer spotlight. So I get both sides of it, but I think if they would have put a little more effort into it as a franchise, having a newer series or a new take on Call of Duty would have been way better.
okay.
Because, like,
Respectable.
they did Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare,
And they flop.
all of those with the advanced movement system, which I enjoyed.
You
It
know,
has its group.
One that really flopped that I kind of liked was Ghost.
I enjoyed Ghost a lot.
I liked Ghost.
I liked the what are they called? Cryptids. I enjoyed fighting the cryptids. Multiplayer was alright, but I liked the cryptids.
Oh, that was like the aliens?
Yeah, the aliens.
Yeah,
The
that was
extractions.
really fun.
Yeah.
I did like that. I'm a multiplayer guy. Like, I know I brought up Transit on Black Ops 2, but
I've
I
played
really
a lot of multiplayer.
stick to multiplayer.
I do them for the camo, and then I take the camos to zombies. I'm a PVM.
Oh,
a
okay.
PVE. PVM, player versus monster. PVE, player versus environment. It's a different keyword
Is that like
people
Plants
use.
vs. Zombies?
No. So Plants vs. Zombies is a game. PVE and PVM.
It's player versus environment.
It's-
Well, I guess
that's PVE.
So your environment versus. Because-
Which it branches from PVM, which is player versus monsters.
Oh.
And
And
then
then
you
there's
get
that one mode.
PvP.
That one newer Plants vs. Zombies where you can play as the zombies.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing? Did I just make that
I
up?
don't know. Then you have PvP, which is multiplayer, player versus player.
And that's what I like.
I put that second. I'll do it. I'll enjoy it if it's a certain game.
What were you playing?
but
Gears of War?
Gears of War. That was the next series after Call of Duty. That was probably what took me away from Call of Duty was Gears of War.
Okay, and you were doing player versus monster?
Yes,
If
we
I'm
were
not
doing the
mistaken.
campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then I branched into Destiny, and I've played Destiny since the alpha. My jacket is from one of the raids, my rings are from the raids, and my shoes are from
I
Their
never
store.
played Destiny.
a lot. It has its player base. There are a lot of people who haven't ever heard of it. but it
I've
is
heard of
popular.
it, and I grew up, one of my close friends actually played it a lot. I
played
just
it
was
a
really
lot.
hard to get into new games for me. Like,
That's
for the
fair.
longest time, I didn't play anything besides GTA, Black Ops 2, Madden, and 2K.
That's fair, yeah.
Because I didn't like new games. I would sometimes play Minecraft because it was super simple,
Yeah.
but like,
I play the mess out of some modded Minecraft.
modded Minecraft is fun.
Modded
See,
Minecraft's
I did, but I never really got into it. But I did play it sometimes, and yeah, that's fun.
And
We did like a Hunger Games one. That was super fun. I love doing it live, so you can see when I mess up. Like
the Destiny intersection, as I was talking about, the raids on Destiny, which, as I was explaining, from rings, my jacket, I have a deep love for things that are very difficult. Because a lot of people do it, gamers, they won't admit to it, but it's like, you do things repetitively in a game to get that burst of dopamine. Well, after doing that for so many years, you know you're going to deprive yourself of it, and now you need stuff that's harder and harder. And that's where me and Dark Souls comes in. Dark Souls is a very difficult game.
Dark Souls, that's demonic. I don't like that.
It's not demonic. I mean, it deals with the aspects of heaven and hell and gods and man and all of that. It does deal with all of that, but it's its own take on it.
You brought up heaven and hell. I didn't bring it up. Wasn't me. It was him. But anyways, I'll keep it on video games. Have you ever played the Saints Row series?
No.
That was one of my favorite series growing up. Now, to be fair, I liked Saints Row 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Saints Row 3, whenever... You probably would have liked that one more. It got into, I think it was zombies? Or aliens. I know Saints Row 4 was aliens. And Saints Row 3, you had superpowers and stuff. And then Saints Row 4, there was aliens. And you might have liked that. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I've never had... It's not so much what a game's about that'll trigger me. It's how it plays. So, like... Fortnite, it's a very popular game.
So, that...
I can't build, and I don't want to learn how to build. I think that is one of the stupidest things to ever come to a game.
Same way.
Do I think it takes a lot of skill to do, like, what people see? No.
So my old roommate
I think
that I
it
was telling
takes
you about.
a lot of practice.
Yes.
Practice and skill are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the time between how good you get at it and where you start, that's where skill can come in. Because what you can do in, 6 months might take someone else 3 years. That's where skill comes in. But at the end of the day, anyone can do it. It just takes time.
Or would you say the strength of the practice? So, like, say I'm practicing something once a week.
Yeah.
And you're practicing something 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
7 days a week.
Yes.
You're saying if I have more skill, then I'd be better than you?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
So, obviously, whatever the goal we're trying to reach, I'm more than most likely going to reach it. I'm more than most likely going to reach it first just because of how much time I'm dedicating towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you won't get there? No. That just means it's going to take you a little bit longer. Now, if we were both dedicating one day a week, 8 hours out of that day, and we both went for 6 months, whatever we end up at, since we put a start and a stop period, that's how you can measure skill.
Okay.
It's not
what you're saying.
The sense of like, oh, he can build up this 2-ton story tower and I can't do anything
about
like
to
that.
get the debate mode.
He's just practicing.
Practice is better than skill always. But
they're two sides of the same coin. That's the way I see it.
I was gonna say about Fortnite. So I missed Fortnite whenever it was fun.
When it was fun?
Yeah.
Oh, when they took the building out?
No. Whenever it first started and everyone was
it
blowing
wasn't
it up.
fun when it first started.
Well, everyone liked it.
Everyone
else
still likes
it.
It is the most popular game.
I missed it. Well, everyone's upset. They still play it, but everyone misses like season 1 and that kind of stuff. And
FOMO?
I missed. Yeah.
Fear of missing out.
Which, I mean, it's not really FOMO because I did miss out and I'm like okay with it. Then whenever I did play it, I didn't really like it, so I was like, okay, never mind.
That's fair.
But yeah, like it was because of what I was saying before, where I was so stuck in that mindset of not trying new games. So I wouldn't play it because I didn't know how to play Battle Royale. I didn't know.
I think the Black Ops Alcatraz is the only Battle Royale I ever played.
I didn't like the third person.
Oh, of how yeah.
I didn't like that, and then I didn't like building. And then whenever they put no building in it, I played it a little bit, and it was fun. I liked it.
See, now that when you take if you're looking at Fortnite and you're like, oh, building takes skill, no.
Building's just something
skill.
I don't know
it's
how to
something
do.
You practice since the start of the game. Now, what is skill is when they removed it, there was a time frame. It wasn't from the start of there was a time frame of how they had you're not gonna be able to build for this long. So people who have been playing, PUBG or the Black Ops Battle Royale or any FPS is gonna have a slight edge on anyone who got really good at building. Because now what you're good at has been taken away from you.
I actually never. I can't say I liked PUBG because I played PUBG Mobile and I liked that.
That's fair. That's fair. PUBG
I didn't
Mobile's a
really
lot
play
easier.
the actual PUBG. I remember my first time ever playing either of those two games was when the mobile came out.
I think I played maybe 10, 20 matches of PUBG on Xbox, and it just
You
wasn't
had
for
to
me.
pay for it, right?
Yeah, it was a bot game.
That's why
I think at
didn't-
the time. I don't know. It might have been free. I'm not sure.
I think it was like $20, but I
That
was like,
sounds right.
why would I pay for that when Fortnite's free? If I'm gonna play anything,
Yeah.
I'll play Fortnite. Lied.
But battle royales weren't really my shtick, and the Destiny raids are what took me into Dark Souls. And yes, I said heaven or hell. It's their take on the concept. Because
Don't
you
worry, I
do
got
go
that- I
down
got
to
that later
hell,
on.
and you do fight demons.
You fight against them.
Yes.
Okay.
And you do go into what is the closest thing to a heaven, and you do fight gods.
Oh, gods.
Gods,
There's only one god.
which is why it's in a video game. It is their take on the religion.
Okay.
But the boss fights that you do in the game are very, very difficult and unforgiving. And the player base, or the community is a better way of putting it, because I don't think a player base and a community are the same thing. A player base is people who are playing the game. A community are players who are taking their voice and putting it out there.
people on TikTok. That's what a community is.
So, the Dark Souls community is very much split in terms of like, oh, I've done this, it's so easy to play the game, and then newer people who are having their experiences with the game and being like, this is so difficult, this is so hard. If I was gonna say anything, it'd be like, if you're new to Dark Souls series, or if you want to try Dark Souls series, play through it and stay off of social media about the game. Because you're just gonna have a bunch of people berate you on how bad you are and how not good you are, and it's not gonna matter, because once you beat the game, you can then look at their perspective and you can feel it. You'll be like, ah, it wasn't that hard.
So I'm gonna circle back to the battle royale real quick.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Warzone?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I hate it.
I do too. And I hate it because of what he just said. Because I got involved in the community
Yep.
and I wasn't good at it. So I'd see all these TikToks and I'd make my own TikToks and then
then
I'd
they
get
would
all
just
the
berate
comments
you.
and they would just, I mean, TikTok is the most dangerous place on the internet.
Any social media is.
I second that. I have Instagram. We went over that before we started.
I don't have any social medias.
You have Facebook Messenger,
Yeah, but
which is like a phone. So I mean, yeah, it's not.
it's also part of the reason why I don't stream anything. Because if I were to stream something, I would need at least some kind of social media.
So that was my idea, actually.
But-
Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me.
Oh yeah.
It's just bright,
that real quick.
real bright right there. But what was I saying? I'd be forgetting.
You have to change the description because
What
we're
is
not
it?
reading the Book of Daniel.
Oh, I do need to do that.
You can do that later or afterwards. or
Yeah,
something.
we'll do that. Dang, I thought I did already. That's crazy. So, we're gonna go ahead and move on because I got a bunch of stuff for us to get into. I want to hear your funniest story you have about yourself.
So,
You got excited there like you had a bunch of funny stories.
is it R-rated or PG?
You know what, guys? Parental advisory warning. I'm letting them go R-rated.
I am a very crude person. I have a mouth on me like a sailor. But for the benefit of my friend here, Jackson, and his podcast and his community he is building, I've been very calm.
Turn up, bro.
So-
Take the censors off. Uncensored. I'm gonna change the title to Uncensored Iean Thompson interview.
So, I would say my brother is 3 years younger than me.
Okay.
And maybe around 4 or 5, because he was just starting to crawl.
You were 4 or 5?
Yes,
He
I
was-
was 4 or 5, and he
Okay.
was like 1. He was either 1 or 2. I can't remember. He might have been a little younger. Age doesn't. It matters, but not as important. It matters because of the context.
They're gonna clip
So,
that. They're gonna clip that and make you look terrible.
Age doesn't matter. No, age matters. It's a very important thing.
Age doesn't matter as long as there's consent.
That's wrong. Don't follow that advice. Age matters. I think 19 is too young.
Clip that.
19 is way too young. But we lived in a trailer park, and a trailer's ventilation, you know.
Disconnected, reconnecting. Oh, it is. Look. Reconnection successful.
Well,
We should
weird.
be good.
But
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
I taught my brother how to shit into the vents.
Oh, you.
I did it one time. He saw it, and we thought it was funny. Haha, we're kids, whatever. You know, I told my dad about it. I told him what happened because I wasn't trying to, prank him or anything.
I can't
And we
wait to
cleaned
hear
it.
the end of the story.
Yeah, we cleaned it. It was like a week later, and we cleaned it. The smell's gone. It was pretty bad for a week, but we got it. Well, then a month later, we start smelling it again. And they get
Your
on to me
brother?
thinking I did it, and I'm like, I promise I haven't. I got spanked. Like, they were getting on to me for it. And then they find out it's my brother, and he had a pile in his vent. A pile.
So
of
if you
shit.
don't know, those vents go down.
Yeah. So he
So
just
it's-
had a pile sitting
So
in
he's
there.
been doing it the
Woo.
whole time.
So we got that cleaned up. That was fun. That was fun.
Did he get spanked?
Yeah, he did. He got in a lot of
Okay,
trouble
good.
for it.
I was gonna say, man, I'll be showing favoritism.
Which is just like, a funny little haha story. Outside of that, no, I don't really have anything. So
I have one.
I have had a stupidly sheltered life. And that's not the fault of my parents. That's the fault of
And
me.
you ended up
not-
like this? I'm just kidding.
yeah, I play games.
You know what's funny is
Yikes.
I had a very unsheltered life. And I was bad as a child, but
Oh, yeah?
I grew up.
Yeah. The Bible
Well, I'm
freak
like-
is sitting over here
the
talking
Bible
about
f-
having an unsheltered life.
Dude.
So
We'll get into that in a
every
bit if you
man
want
of
to.
religion that I've talked to outside of a church, and I don't mean that in a sexist way. It could be man or woman. I just don't talk to women because they're terrifying.
This is a men's podcast.
So women are terrifying.
They are. Jezebel.
Everyone I've met outside of church has had like a tragic past, and then they turn to faith. Which I don't have a problem with, but it's weird how it's always the same.
I've noticed that, and I was gonna bring up that. I was gonna get into that later about how, like, I think it's 60% of non-raised Christians, so like converts, people who convert to Christianity, do it inside of a prison. Which I thought,
Really?
yeah, which is crazy. Let me check that stat. We pull that up. Convict Christian conversion rate. That's not the right thing to search. Dang, dude, you can't type at all. Bro, we haven't peaked the whole time, but as soon as you start typing on that keyboard, it peaked out.
Oh, they're gonna hear the clacks. Oh yeah.
Click, clack, clack, click,
Click,
clack.
clack.
That's how you know we're working. So it says 0 dropped frames, so I don't know if whenever it disconnected, it's still connected. You feel me?
Oh, yeah, it probably.
That thing you just looked at said 77%, the top one.
Did it? Where?
Right there.
Oh yeah, 77% of ex-prisoners are arrested, with 37% arrested within a first. Rates are higher in the United States. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, within 5 years of being released, 77% of ex-prisoners are arrested, with 37% arrested within the first 6 months and 57% arrested in the first year. And this has nothing to do with
Yeah,
Christianity.
what are they talking about? To be fair, I didn't do my research before I said that.
Someone
told me.
Research on the fly.
Dude, that looks like a real document you're reading right now. I wish we could pull that up. Like, whatever that says, I believe it.
It's on the internet. I take everything with a grain of salt. But
Here, let me see if I can...
a lot of it is Muslim. A lot of the statistics are
they
Muslim.
do convert to Islam a lot. But that's like worldwide.
Yeah.
I was talking about America. But percent of prison Christian convicts. Watch me find it first thing in the order.
I mean,
Well,
you're doing better than me.
My phone doesn't load this area.
Should be faster now that you're not on a hotspot because this nerd was on a hotspot. Nothing against hotspots, but as a gamer, as someone who deals with PCs and consoles, I can't. Gotta have a wired connection. It's just better.
I saw a thing that says it's closer to 50%. Let me see what this says. This says, why do people convert to Christianity in prison? One reason may be that being in prison can be a deeply isolating and difficult experience, and turning to religion can provide some sense of community and support. Which is also true, because I don't know the rates, but I know that a lot of the prisoners, when they get out, they turn back. They don't stick to it. Anyway, so my funny story about you. You know what I'm going to tell?
Your funny stuff. Oh!
Just recently happened.
It did. Very embarrassing. But,
so,
do you want to tell it? Before you tell this, the context to give is opening a door. The first time I did this, it opened just fine.
It opened just fine, right?
After what you're about to talk to happened, and I went to work and had to open both of them, just fine. Opened both just fine.
So you learned. You learned from your mistakes.
Well, previously I'd also done. I don't understand why. But anyways, continue.
So we're at work, and the doors to get in are kind of like garage doors, but they're open with a chain, so you have to pull this chain to get it up. Mm-hmm. So we're opening. Me and him are opening the doors. I open my door. I open my door, and then there's people outside looking at me what do we do? This is the exit. Do we come in here?
For context, the two doors are the two pathways into the place we work. And one of them is an entrance and exit. So you finish.
You just said entrance and exit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
the door that I opened was the exit,
and the one that I was supposed to open was an entrance. Now,
I'm gonna get in trouble for the way I tell this story.
Previously opening this door, there's no problem. Grab the chain, pull on the chain,
and it opens.
It rolls up. You open the door, right?
All right, and there's also lock latches. That's part of the story. So,
I am not a morning person.
I'm opening my door. These people are looking at me what do we do? This is the exit. Do we come in? Which is so weird because normally they just come in any door anyways. But I'm yeah. And then I look over at him, and he's struggling to open the door, and I'm like, hey, your latch. Get your latch. So he undoes his latch and tries it again. And he still can't do it. And then this little autistic girl comes up. She says, let me see. And does it like nothing.
And I'm jerking on this chair. I'm putting my body weight behind it. Nothing's budging.
No, and he was actually trying. He was all red in the face afterwards.
And then this woman comes up.
I don't know if she's actually autistic. I just
grabs the chain from me and goes, let me see. Just opens the door.
Like nothing.
I step back and go, what the fuck? Because, excuse me? Door just decides to open? Okay, whatever.
Now it works.
Embarrassing, but hilarious.
Alright, let's see what else I got. I keep putting my notes away.
Well, quit.
Okay, this will be fun, and it'll probably get us on a little rant. We'll probably be going back and forth here for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If you could go back and start your life at any point in history, where would you start? Or what time in history would you want to live in?
So I have something to talk about after this. What time would I want to live
Next
in?
time you're in my podcast, we're going to fight. I'm just kidding.
I don't know, because there's nothing really in history or in the past that I'd want to witness for myself.
You wouldn't.
Which is like a very like fuck
You
you. I'm not
wouldn't
gonna
want to
answer
go to
it,
like
but,
9/11 and watch the planes.
I just
You wouldn't
don't
want to go to 9/11 and be like, where are the planes at? Show them.
I would if I probably the Library of Alexander.
Okay.
I think that's what I think
is
that's
that
what it's
like
called.
Alexander the Great,
I believe
the
so.
Roman?
Library of Alexandria, I think.
Alexandria. Click,
Yeah,
click, click,
Library of Alexandria.
click. What is this?
Was a
I don't even know what this is. How am I going to ask about a question I don't
It
know?
was the
history?
Great Library of Alexandria in Alexandria, Egypt. Was one of the largest and most significant libraries of the ancient world.
Oh, this is about freaking fake gods.
285 to 246 BC.
So, wait. One more time.
285 to 246 BC.
Okay, why?
Why would I want to go back here?
Yeah.
So now that's a very important question.
Okay.
So this library
I'm good at this interview.
is BC, right? Right. We've
Before-
it's before Christ.
Before
BC.
God.
So now that
Well,
far
actually,
back,
he was still around, just Jesus wasn't.
that far back, we wouldn't have had like a lot of books and paper and things like that. It would have been very crude material, but a lot of things on stone tablets, a lot of things on
Scrolls.
scrolls,
Those were
stuff
things
like
too.
that. Well,
They've been things since
this library, and I saw this on TikTok, it's the only reason, it's the only thing that the guy has brought up that I've actually kind of been like, that'll make you think. He tries to come up with a lot of things that will make you think. This is the only one that I've been like, okay. So this
Are
library...
you gonna shout them out?
No.
Wait,
Because a
scroll
lot of
up.
money- a lot of
Did
money
it say it
talks
was
of-
dedicated to Moses?
Maybe.
Scroll up a little bit more. More. Right there. Dedicated to the muses or something. To your left. And then actually a line down. Right there, yeah.
Yeah, the Museums of Alexandria, which arguably included the Library of Alexandria, was an institution said to have been founded by...
So it was a
Ptolemy.
school? You didn't want to go to school?
Yeah, but that's all not... That's besides the
I
point.
mean, school was probably different.
But the
back
guy brings
then,
up
too.
a lot of things that
'Cause
is
what-
like conspiracy theories
Okay.
that you think of, but if you really think hard about them, a lot of what he says is just him spewing stuff,
This
and you
isn't.
can write it off.
This isn't off the board. This is different. This isn't. I don't have this one written down. What's your
But-
favorite conspiracy theory?
This one.
Okay.
So the Great Library of Alexandria
Oh.
burned down, was completely destroyed.
No, it didn't.
Completely destroyed,
It's fake.
right? So how do we know about it?
From the scrolls.
Burned.
Bro, you just made my mind explode.
Yeah. So things that would have been on stone, or things that would have been
Well,
kept,
so the stone.
time travel.
You're pushing
So,
it.
so stone and things that would have been kept on, things that they may have deemed more important than parchment, would have been kept on, stones, or maybe they would have kept it in some enclosed casket. I don't want to. Casket's not a good word. Box, or maybe like a stone jewelry box, I guess. I don't know. But they would have had it protected. Well, if the whole thing was destroyed completely, the entire Library of Alexandria was destroyed, how would we know about it unless someone came to tell us?
Maybe there was like a survivor.
Because how would he know it's all, like, you would think one or two people who survived would know everything? From a library and school?
Maybe it was Alexander.
That, no.
Maybe he survived and he was like, look at what I built.
Plus,
it's gone now, but let me tell you about it.
If they would have done, kind of like your question, if I could go back to anywhere, if they would have went back to
You want to go back to the time travel.
and they would have gave them that kind of information, have been like, this is how I did it, you would store it or keep information that valuable in somewhere like this, a grand library,
So on the time travel
which would
topic,
put a target on it to be destroyed. And guess what? It's one of the great disasters. It was destroyed.
On a time travel topic.
That's one of my
So
big
say,
conspiracy theories. That
I was
like.
thinking like...
Yeah, there's a ton of holes in it.
I didn't think time travel with that question. I thought more of like, you know, if you got to choose what time in history you live.
Time travel?
Well, yeah, but like you're not from the future going back in the past, right?
Oh, like I was brought up in that era.
Yeah, like that's where you grew up.
Oh.
But with the time travel, I want to ask. So, say you go back, would you like tell them?
That I was a time traveler?
No, but like, well, yeah, I guess. But like, what I meant was like, would you be like, guys, don't worry. I don't know how someone knows, but it's all on Wikipedia. And they're like, what's Wikipedia?
No, if I could go back in time, it would be to be a passenger.
On the.
I would want to be a first-hand witness to a lot of the historical
on
events
Flight
that
7?
happened. What?
Is that what it was called? Flight 7? I'm saying that wrong.
I don't know.
The 9/11 flight. Building 7.
Dude, what is your deal with 9/11?
A lot.
I don't have anything with 9/11. That's not that far back. I would want to go to BC.
No, mine
to
would
see
be
things, to witness
AD.
things.
I would want to go back to AD, but early AD. I'd want to, you know, walk with Jesus, and because that way, you know, one thing I'll say, which I talked to my mentor about this.
Is it
today.
AD after the death?
Yes, that's what it stands for, but it's like it started counting whenever he was born. So it's weird. Like he
That's
died.
weird.
He died 36 AD when he was 36.
Okay, that's weird.
It's really weird. I don't know why. I think it was the Greeks that
Hey man,
called that.
they do them. I'm just here.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd want to go to BC just to see things.
But have you ever seen the movie Year One? Where they're like living in the cave. It's a funny movie.
Oh,
It's funny.
maybe.
It's got like
maybe.
Jack Black in it.
I think so.
Yeah. And then that kid from.
Yeah.
That kid,
yeah.
you know the kid.
I don't know his name, but
It's like-
I was having like
What's
snippets.
that movie called? Superbad. Yeah. But I'd want to go and be one of the disciples because I'd want to know, like, what I was talking with my mentor about today was like, in every religion, everyone who believes that kind of stuff has doubts.
That's human nature.
Yeah. And it's like, if I lived and saw it with my own eyes, the things he did, that would be so crazy to me.
It'd be crazy.
Or I'd be able to see if it was all
but-
fake.
See now, let's say you went back and what's
I think I'm gonna get grilled for saying what I just said.
what's a thing in religion that's constantly debated as like real or fake?
The resurrection.
The resurrection of Christ, right?
Yep.
3 days, he was in a cave.
Yep.
So let's say
Did you
go-
watch my last podcast?
No.
You just knew that?
Yeah.
Where'd you learn that from?
Well, my parents are religious.
Oh, that.
I'm not.
Okay, I didn't know your parents were. Are
Yeah,
they,
my
so
dad
they're
is
Christian?
my dad's recently converted to Christianity. Yeah.
You did tell me that. I
Yeah.
missed.
But
I
my
misremembered.
dad, who it's where I get some of my agnostic tendencies, and it's not that I don't believe anything's out there. It's that I'm not gonna say yes or no until I see proof.
Okay.
But that's a double-edged sword because
It
the
is.
only way to see proof is after you've died.
Yep.
And the only
And
way
that
to
would
get
be
that proof
too
is to
late.
give undevoted faith.
Yep.
And it's this double-edged sword. So, let's say you went back and you got to witness all these great things.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say they were real. You went to the cave, you brought some snacks or some water, whatever.
And he wasn't
and you
there.
sat outside that cave for the 3 days. You know, brought your own camping gear, you set up. Maybe even
Oh,
made a
you mean
little
like
steak.
camp out and like watching
So
dead
you
bodies? Like, I
sat
watch 'em
right
come back.
outside the cave and waited.
Okay.
And on the 3rd day, the rock moved, and Jesus Christ. It is Jesus Christ, right? Yeah,
that's-
Jesus
that's his
steps.
name.
He steps out of the. Well, is that his name or?
That's his name. Yeah. It's so I don't know. So whenever I'm praying, I pray to Yeshua because that
Okay.
was his name in Hebrew.
Yeah, that's
but
what I was asking.
I guess
But
they
let's say-
translated it, but it's like so weird to me because say I know a kid named
That's a subject I want to bring up.
Yeah,
too.
say I know a kid named Jesus. I'm not gonna call him Jesus in English
Yeah.
because that's his name, you know.
So let's say you camped out. Rock moves. He steps out. Okay, so the resurrection was real. How was he resurrected?
Cause he's
Was
God.
he dead inside that cave?
So actually,
You weren't in there. You don't know.
Okay, but so if I was alive, I'd be able to back this up better. Like if I was alive during the times. But
How did you move the rock? It was said to be unmovable.
According to scripture, whenever he died, a Roman guard stabbed him in the side with a spear,
Mm-hmm.
and he started pouring out water and blood. Now, back then, they didn't know medical terms and stuff, but today, if you're spewing out water and blood simultaneously, that's heart failure.
Yeah.
So that's what scripture says. They didn't say, oh, Jesus had heart failure, but they said he was spewing out water and blood from his side, which would equal heart failure
Yeah.
in today's world, which would mean you're dead.
Yeah.
And then he came back to life. 3 days later. Reported to 500 people over
So now
a
let's
period
say
of
you
40
go
days.
back and you witness the execution.
See, that's where it would get dark, because that's what I was talking about. Was
So
like
you witness
being-
the execution, and he really does bleed out. You see it. You know it happened. It's not just something written down. You see him bleed out. You know he's
Mhm.
dead. You wait the 3 days, the rock moves, an immovable rock moves, and he comes striding out, or weak, or he comes back from the dead.
Yeah.
So you would know that religious historical event happened. It's real.
Then I would never lose a debate again.
Who's gonna believe you? You're the only one who saw it. That doesn't change the masses that don't think it happened, such as myself. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying I don't have definitive proof.
So,
But let's say someone like me does your plan. I go back. I witness it. Me personally, that's not instantly gonna turn me. That's not gonna instantly make me think that they're all real.
who's
Yes,
there?
I saw it.
Who's there all?
I witnessed it.
Because I...
That's insane. But the Great Flood, I'd have to see it.
Okay. I see
Tower
where you're
of
coming
Babel,
from. That's
and it's
all
splitting everybody.
Moses history, and that's a really deep rabbit hole that...
Exactly. So now I want to bring up the Tower of Babel
I like this one.
and how you said, it was man trying to reach God's plane, or
They were trying to
build a tower to the heavens.
Yes, they wanted to overthrow God in
Yeah.
his own home.
So he struck them down, split them apart, and
Divided.
divided their language.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how to pronounce what you just said.
Divided.
Jesus' name.
Yeshua?
How do we know that's what it was, if the languages were divided? Because you brought up, if you call your friend Jesus, but it's spelled like Jesus, that's now. What if that was completely different before the Tower of Babel?
We agree on that, because
So how would you
everyone
know
calls
that's
him
his name?
Jesus, but, now, I don't know 100% on this. You got me here. But I know that, like, there are people who have studied Hebrew and studied this and, devoted their lives to finding out the
pause.
truth about him.
Studied Hebrew, right?
Yes.
When was Hebrew? And what Hebrew? Hebrew before the Tower of Babel? Hebrew after the Tower of Babel?
The Tower
Is it
of
the
Babel
same,
is
or was it split?
super old. Like, way Old Testament. Like, that's in the book of Genesis.
I don't know what any of that means.
Okay, so that's all before the Tower of Babel. Genesis is when God created the heavens and the earth. Let there be
Okay. I see the hole in what I'm saying now. Then.
Yeah, the New Testament. So yeah, I won.
Is after. Okay. I still have. It still brings up a good question.
No, hold on. We gotta
but-
get off that topic because I got a lot for that later.
All right. Got a lot for that on your next podcast on the next episode.
No, on this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get pressed.
Sure, come at me.
All right. So I'm gonna skip some of these because we're. Well,
It's 4:30.
Oh, it is 4:30, man. Good catch. So you've already answered, and I was gonna ask your favorite game, which is.
My favorite game
I wanna
is
say-
Metroid.
Okay, so you haven't answered that. So what?
That's what this poster's from.
Okay, Metroid, favorite game.
That's Samus Aran, the bounty hunter.
Next. I don't care.
Ask someone about their favorite and then just be like, yeah, I don't care. Great question. Thanks. Damn. Damn.
We gotta get moving.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Do you want to talk about it? I'd love to hear about, what is it, Megatroid?
No. No. It's Metroid. But you're good.
Metroid.
We can move to the next question.
Okay, what was your, well, you kind of answered this a little bit too, but I want to get more in depth. What was your childhood like? Okay, so
nothing interesting happened.
Let me rephrase that then, because you just told me some information that might be interesting. Is that your phone?
Yeah.
So your dad recently converted
Yes.
to Christianity. What sparked that in you?
I have no idea.
Okay. Honesty. I love that. You know how many people have just made up an answer? And like, oh, I think it was da 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 da, and like
No,
started
I went and I was playing a game, and they came back from town, and I brought up I think it was a subject in Dark Souls about a god, or it was something about a god, and then my dad was like,
he was like, let me tell you
no,
something.
he was like, kind of chill out with the language, and I was like, what? You never, I was like, what? I just brushed it off. I didn't think much about it, I just brushed it off. And then later that day I had said something, and it was pertaining towards something, and this GD boss is really pissing me off. Right?
Oh.
And my dad was like, don't use the Lord's name in vain. And I was like, whoa.
That's different.
I was like, whoa, what's going on? And he was then like, for about a week now, maybe 2, Sundays and Wednesdays we'll be going to our church. And I was like, oh.
Well,
what?
Oh, I don't want to answer that. I was going to say what church, but...
Yeah, and I'm not going to disclose that information.
Don't do that.
However,
Journey Church, Northwest Arkansas. Love to see you there.
try to get my dad to come there.
Is he up here?
He'll be here for his birthday. Yeah,
Okay.
He's coming up on a weekend. But I didn't really push too much on it because I'm a firm believer of it's your life. If you want me to know something, you will tell me. If you don't want me to know it, that's not my information to dig for. That can be bent a little bit depending on a relationship or the context of the subject, but it's religion, it's my dad, he can do what he wants. It doesn't affect me dramatically. He's not pushing anything on me, he just brought it up. And I was like, that's cool, that's fine. And that was it. He didn't give me a reason, and I don't think you really need a specific reason. It's just one day you may want to try something, or one day you might want to do something different. Now, if I had to guess, for a while, he always said that he wanted proof before he believed anything. But my dad's also not
Is that where
scared.
you get that from?
Probably. It's not that my dad is scared of dying. It's that he just doesn't want to die too young, probably.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to guess, he's in his mid-40s, I believe. Or early 40s? Mid or early 40s? I don't know. I'd have to ask.
Do you know how old he is? Oh.
I
thought you were like saying you didn't know if you should call it mid or early. I was like, I could tell you.
But shoot, just had a brain fart. What was it? Oh, he was like, he would rather hedge his bets, and if it's so, become a believer, be faithful, and if it's all fake, he didn't lose anything.
Yeah, so that was.
But if it's real, then all of his doubts and everything would be cleansed. He'd know for a fact after he passed. And I think that's what really settled the deal, was like, if he does go through with this and he converts and, he becomes faithful and all of that, he's not losing anything. Which I get. He's not losing anything. If anything, he's gaining, a peace of mind or someone to talk to or company. There's nothing wrong with it. And I can see that side of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
But can that be the reason you convert and truly believe yourself as a convert?
Okay, that's a good question.
Because
Now-
the only reason you're converting
Is
is
because-
a hedged bet.
Yeah,
Is oh well.
I understand that. Now I'll say that's not the reason that I converted. I'll actually, if you want, we can go into that, but I'll give you like a summary.
As I just said, it's your life. That's your information.
But I will say that whenever I first converted and I was telling my friends about it, and they were trying to, I have some atheist friends who are like super against it. You know, like the way you are, where it's your life, you do what you want. My friends were like, "You're wrong,"
Yeah.
and then with no evidence. You know, they don't even know what they believe.
You're just wrong and you're wrong.
Yeah. But you know, I sent him a message one time, and I said, you know, if I am wrong and I die and nothing happens, I lived a life of good morals.
Yeah.
I had a lot of faith in something good,
Yeah.
and I was good to all the people around me. If I'm right and you're wrong and you die, you're going to the lake of fire, and you're gonna regret, you know, not accepting Christ.
My biggest thing with that specific scenario, and I don't know the rules on getting into heaven or purgatory or anything like that. I don't know the rules or the in between the lines or whatever, but if I had to guess, I'd put it on like how faithful you are.
Yes. So
So, in your situation, or just like my dad, and don't take this the wrong way.
you think I'm going to hell?
No. I'm not saying you're going to hell. I'm not saying you're going to heaven. I'm not saying you're going anywhere. I'm saying, like, you're hedging a bet. The way you're approaching it, you are not capable of giving 100%. Because there's always going to be a part of you that doubts.
Yes.
No matter what, there will always be a part of you that doubts. Now, your friend, who's an atheist, he's on the bad side of the coin, but let's say he doesn't have that doubt. He is 100% faithful. He is 100% sure you are wrong.
I see where you're going with this. And
So while it's in the wrong direction, that's the kind of mentality and attitude that is pushed that makes people... It's like an egotistical thing in my head, because if you're not 100% faithful and 100% ready to give everything, you're not getting in.
yeah.
But I don't like that per se, because one, it literally defies human nature. There's nothing you can give 100% to, even a child, that you will all, even if it's a 0.0001%, there's always a fraction of you that is going to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe, what if this didn't happen? What if I didn't have it? There's always going to be a small sliver of you
always-
somewhere.
What are those second thoughts?
Yeah,
There's always
your second
second
thoughts,
thoughts.
your passing thoughts, or like intrusive thoughts. It's different, but you know that's another thing. Like, let's say you're at church or whatever, you're praying, you're having a real one-to-one, you know, quietly to yourself. Maybe you
With
went
my
to the
bestie.
church, right? With your one and only, your father. But mid-prayer, you have that thought in the back of your head: is anyone really hearing this?
You just blew my mind.
That's
Because-
like, that's an intrusive thought, and then it's up to you to brush that off, which is probably what most religious people would tell you to do. Or do you dwell on it and think, is there really anyone listening? How do you know?
So
And the answer you'll always get to that is signs.
you know Floyd.
I do, yeah.
Okay, so I asked Floyd.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. He's
You're
cool.
aware of who he
I
is.
like Floyd. He's cool. Yeah.
So I asked him about this exact thing because I've battled with that.
Mhm.
And
The signs will be there.
yes.
That's
Wait.
the answer all the time.
No, it was different. He gave me advice on what to do. And I asked my mentor today at my Bible study this morning, and he told me the same thing. And it was, so whenever I'm praying, this is what I told him. I said, whenever I'm praying, sometimes I sit in my head and think, is God really listening? Is there really a God? If there is a God, why would he listen to me?
Mm-hmm.
and just all types of negative, doubtful thoughts. And what I would do was try to ignore it. And like you said, brush it off. I would just say it's not there, it's not there, it's not there. I'm not thinking that. But it was still there. Right? And this is, you believe in manifestation, correct?
To a certain degree.
Okay. So, as an agnostic, you could say this was manifestation, but I believe it was the Holy Spirit. But both Floyd and my mentor have, well, my mentor just told me today, but Floyd told me like a week ago. But whenever I was praying recently, I had those same thoughts, and I did what Floyd told me to do, which was say, Satan, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. Get out of my head, go back to hell. Or something along those lines. And I said that, and those doubtful thoughts went away. So I could see how you could say that that would be manifestation, because
I don't think that's manifestation.
I think it's the Holy
So,
Spirit.
no. I think that is manipulation. And now you can manipulate people in a very healthy, good way. But that word is used in such toxic and bad environments that everyone assumes manipulation is bad. No. So Floyd and your mentor, who, let's say they've never met, they don't even know who each other are.
True.
And they both gave you the same advice.
True.
Is your mentor an elderly man?
Not like Floyd elderly,
But like
he's older
he's
than me.
been in this mentor position for a while.
Yes.
So he's encountered a lot of people who have had your same problem.
Yes.
Floyd has encountered a lot of people who have had your same problem. You give all those people the same answer, you start to get results from giving that answer out. So that becomes your go-to answer. And the reason it works is because you were getting results.
Okay,
But now that I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus Christ, it's not going to work for everybody. But, and this is human nature. I am not saying they're bad people, but it is human nature to ignore. But it is human nature whenever you are trying to achieve something to ignore the bad results. So like, let's say 1 in every 6 people said it didn't work for them. Ignore that person, because these 6 people it worked for. So you keep doing that. So like, let's say you would have done that, but the thoughts are still there, and you went back to them. If you just had to guess, what would you think they'd say, or how would they approach it?
So it's hard for me to answer that, because when I say they both gave the same answer,
the same advice.
It wasn't like that. It was where I told my mentor what Floyd said,
and he probably agreed and said it was something
with
good.
It. Yeah. So
my thing is a sentence from 2 people you put highly worked for you to get a good result. Is there anything wrong with that? No. It put you in a better mind space. It let your prayer get through. It worked for you. It put you in a higher state. That's perfectly fine. That's fine for all parties involved. No one did anything bad. No one manipulated anybody, anything like that. Maybe. Word manipulation, maybe. But not in a bad manner. Everyone's for the better for it. But, let's say you do that one day and it doesn't work. Well, as a person of faith, they're going to tell you, they might resort to like, maybe the devil is trying harder, or maybe he's trying to get a harder grip on you, so you have to be faithful, repeat it, or mean the words you're saying, right? The way I look at it, I don't think anyone who prays with a completely clear heart and conscience is getting a prayer through to anything. If you cannot completely cast doubt from you, you're not getting through to anyone. Because the doubt will always be there. Whether it's a small sliver, small shard, it'll always be there. The problem with that is humans are made up with doubt in you. You will have doubt no matter what. The purest form
doubt
is when you're a newborn. And that's because
you're a newborn thinking,
know.
No way. I'm not alive.
But even as a newborn, it doesn't take very long for you to start to understand the concepts of fear and doubt.
Yeah.
Whether that's, am I going to get fed?
Am I gonna
Is
fall?
mom going to feed me?
Fall?
Am I going to be dropped?
Am I gonna
start to get those
Am
ideas.
I ever gonna be out of this car seat?
Now, if you bring that up, that conversation up to someone of faith, they'll probably resort to the apple of Eden. When Eve bit from the apple, and that released sin, or so I don't know the whole story. I just know that like they existed, apple existed, one bit from the apple, bad happened.
So that's a crazy story because you can kind of compare it. See, this is from a faithful perspective, but you could kind of compare it to my same story.
Exactly.
Whereas, basically, if Eve was in my position, she would have been like, you know what? There is no God. No one's listening to me.
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know where I was going with that.
Eve, I don't think Eve would have been in the manner of there is no God. I think if it was Adam, Adam would have turned it down.
So,
Adam would have been like, this is not right. The rules were in place. We're not supposed to cross
So Adam
this line.
also ate the apple.
But after Eve.
Yes. But everyone
Eve
gets it misconstrued that like she was out getting fruit and brought it back to him and snuck it to him.
No.
But
no.
he was standing right there. He saw the interaction with the serpent.
Oh, that's outside.
That's-
Sorry.
He saw the interaction with the serpent and proceeded to do it anyways.
But
in my personal opinion, because, you know, he was
the problem with all that for
trying to
me
get some.
is because it's manipulation. So, bad figure A comes in with promises, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but he gives promises to...
Bad figure A, the serpent?
Yeah, he gives promises to Eve, which, before the apple,
Yes.
it was supposed to be innocence and pure of nature.
Yes.
So how...
It was supposed to be...
if you're innocent...
It was supposed to be perfect.
If you're innocent, perfect, pure of nature, how would such a negative thing manipulate you? Unless the doubt was already
Lack of
there.
faith.
Was already there.
Okay.
And bad figure A preyed on it.
However...
So, that's still like, okay, Eve had maybe a little lack of faith, maybe something happened, maybe there's
But
somewhere
you're saying
in the
how
garden.
in a perfect world.
But Adam saw it, and then he got that lack. And then he thought, well, she just did it, and it was supposed to be like the cardinal sin, the bad thing we did, and nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
So then he does it. Then all hell breaks loose. Or,
Then
sin comes.
they put the clothes on.
But I think it's a metaphor for... I think too many people get hung up on the actual eating of the apple, and I think it's the beforehand.
So
It's the fact that they listened instead of ignoring the devil's promises.
yes. So
Because that is what started the lack.
That's what I was gonna go into, was the fact that it's a popular statement in Christianity where the devil can't force you to sin.
Mm-mm.
All he can do is pose an idea and make it sound like something you would want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Where what he told Eve was, because God said, don't eat the fruit, you'll die. The devil said that was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Which it wasn't, because if you think about it, in a perfect world, humans would have lived forever,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. They ended up dying. It might not have been an instant death, but they died.
Yeah, and neither party was wrong or lied.
Yeah. Well, so you're right, actually.
Satan just
Because
manipulated it.
he manipulated it into his favor, because he said, what? You're not gonna die? No, you're just gonna see the truth in the world for what it really is,
Mm-hmm.
and God doesn't want you to see things the way he sees things.
Mm-hmm.
And Because it's the knowledge of good and evil, is what the fruit was. The fruit of knowledge of good, or the tree of.
Tree of Eden.
I just went over this, but
I think it's the tree of Eden.
no, it's the Garden of Eden.
Garden of Eden. Yeah.
And then I don't remember what the tree was called, but it's the fruit of knowledge.
Yeah.
But he said God just doesn't want you to see the world the way He does. Which, I mean, after biting the apple, I don't want to see the world the way that God does either.
But
I don't want to see.
Take that, because you're thinking of it in an innocent manner because you're a religious person. And I'm not calling you out on that, but that's a fact. Take that sentence you just said.
Uh-huh.
God doesn't want you to see the world except for the way He sees it.
I'm sorry?
So, the fruit
Yes.
was put there. It wasn't hidden. It wasn't taken away. It was
I believe it
placed
was like
there.
right in the middle of the garden.
It was placed there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it lets them see the world for good and evil for both sides. And let's say Satan saw the world for
I
evil.
wish I had my notebook.
Satan saw the world for evil. He saw all the bad in the world. And God saw all of the good in the world. Right? And God made Adam and Eve in His image, in perfection. And He left the fruit there. That was a purposeful decision. Hold on. Purposeful decision. Told them, do not mess with it. Don't mess with it. It'll kill you. Or, you know, you'll see. Satan, what would you think, if anything? I'm not even making anything on that. Jealousy. God had a perfect creation.
And
Satan was jealous.
Yes.
So what was the one thing he could do that would corrupt his perfect thing?
Get them to sin.
Get them to see his side. Not necessarily sin. Sin is just what it's called. That's the label
Yes.
put on it.
Okay. I
But
see
it was
what you're
get
saying.
them to see his side. Get them to see the negative, the evil.
Okay, so you
But
didn't go where I thought you were going with
The
that.
devil
which
is
surprising.
what introduced everything bad. After God had introduced everything good, which puts us in the state where we can see both good and bad. And
Yes.
that's where the sentence, try to see the good in people, comes from.
So where I could debate that is because you said the tree of knowledge, He left it there intentionally. And I could say yes because God knows everything.
I think it was a
beforehand.
test for Satan.
It was a test for man.
I don't think it was a test for
Because
man.
God gave man free will.
Yep.
God said, I want you to follow me, and I want you to listen to me, and worship me, and praise me.
Pause.
But I don't want you...
Let's go before
I'm not going to
man.
force you to do that.
Let's go before man.
Okay, I don't know very much.
Lucifer was cast down for what?
He wanted...
Jealousy.
Yeah, jealousy, pretty much.
Jealousy.
Pride is... often
Jealousy,
used.
pride,
Yeah.
ego. Yeah. So, he's been cast down for, you know, he wanted to be in God's shoes.
Yeah.
Jealousy. Sees God's creation. Sees the apple. Jealousy. So I think the fruit was a test for Lucifer. I can't see. I can't read that.
No, not read the logo.
What? Oh, the apple.
Yeah, an apple. That's why I hate.
But
phones.
I think the apple of Eden was a test for Lucifer, because I don't think God hates, or, you know, anything like that. I don't think that He's capable of that. So him casting Lucifer out, I think, was like, it had to be done. He couldn't make an example. He couldn't, you know, make an exemption. It had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So that fruit was a test for both man and free will and Lucifer to see if he had changed. But he didn't. And he used jealousy to corrupt God's creation.
I don't know about that, but I will,
it's just hypothetical. I'm not religious. I'm just speaking.
But I will look into that because that is interesting. Because I've never seen it as a test for Satan.
Exactly.
But I will
Because the
definitely
big
look into
evil that got sent out for all eternity, why would God test him?
I want to point out the fact that I in mind did not have a religious podcast planned today.
Oh no, I figured it would go that way.
I had a couple religious and faith-based questions.
I like bringing stuff like that up.
But, see, I didn't know that. And I wanted to talk about things that you would be comfortable talking about.
A conversation like this,
Mhm.
where it's like a back and forth kind of thing, I don't have a
this,
problem.
my God, I'll hit
It's
you in
when
the
people
mouth.
start to get like super defensive and super angry that I'm like, you're not even trying to talk to me anymore. You're just trying to push your side over mine.
Well, I mean, obviously, I want you to believe my side, but
It's not that I don't believe it.
Mhm.
It's that I want visual proof.
Yes.
Could it exist? Absolutely.
Which
Could it be out there? Is there evidence out there? My dad has made a few remarks and brought up a few things that have made me, turn some wheels. Like, okay, maybe. Like, there's a giant boat that's up in this really tall... I'd have to find it, but it's a boat.
we talked about this
Like
the other
Noah's
day.
Ark that's
Mhm.
up in a mountain. And there's no way for that boat to be there
Unless it
except for a
floated.
great flood.
Yep.
And, it makes you think. But that's it. It just makes me think.
Okay, so the next thing I have here that's on the same topic, if you're cool with it, I want to keep this topic going.
I got
And
it.
we'll finish off on this same topic. 'Cause we did cover a little bit of other things, right?
I'm pretty good at reading your list and kind of touching on things.
So I want to know, how do you believe the Earth was created?
I believe the Earth was created through the Big Bang Theory. Now, I don't believe that the universe was created through a Big Bang Theory.
Okay, so how was the universe created?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Okay. So the
If
Big
you want
Bang
a
Theory...
factual thing that's real outside of religion, space is growing.
Yes.
The infinite dark that is out there is growing. It's getting bigger, and our
It
universe
needs more
is in there.
space because all these new converts.
Do I think that universes happen and maybe someone orchestrates the grand scheme of things? Maybe, but as far as Earth and planets go, yes, I believe they are either a clump of a lot of mass, whether that be ice and rock and debris, come together, or a Big Bang happened, and life sparked.
Okay.
Because Earth, regardless of what you think or regardless of what people say, we've been here, this Earth has been here billions of years.
It's been here 6,000 years.
Okay. Billions of years. And there's no other
Close to
planet,
6,000 years.
there's no other planet out there even close. Yet, suddenly, when all of our resources start hitting a critical point, there's 3-4 planets that are close to
Providing
Earth.
those resources. There's water on Mars.
Exactly. So I don't think that the whole Earth is the one in the middle. I don't think that's true. The fact that life is
Well,
here
no,
and the
so,
fact that Earth
I
is
mean,
such a perfect ball and that being that super rare one in a million, I don't think that's true.
I believe.
And that favors religion.
Yeah, I was gonna say I believe that
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask what time you wanted to go get the pie.
Give us 5-10 minutes and we'll get this. After no, you're okay. You're okay. But no, I think the whole Big Bang can only go to a certain extent. I'm not gonna say there's this one person who's overseeing everything and has a grand design, but I'm gonna say if you look at it, it favors that option.
So the Big Bang Theory is
2 atoms smashed and sparked life, or molecules.
so
atoms,
everything.
I can't remember what it's called.
That sounds about what.
But everything came from an explosion of light, which is very.
Nothing. I always heard.
Nothing was there. An
an
explosion of light.
Yeah. So, I've always had trouble believing that because
I think.
if you want to
can
talk
happen
about
that way.
visual proof, okay. I have nothing in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in my hand has never, in human history, became something from being nothing.
Mm-hmm. I brought that up. The inanimate cannot make animate,
Yes.
and the animate can make inanimate.
Now, my next thing, same topic, but I want to press you on a little bit. Get pressed.
I do want to, before we move on, I want to bring that up, though, what you said. So in your hand, you don't have anything.
There's nothing in my hand.
That's not true.
Okay, I mean...
You have air, you have molecules, you have atoms, a whole bunch of sciencey terms. You have a lot that is interacting with you.
He knows I don't do this stuff.
You have a lot of things that are interacting with you, even though you can't see it.
Okay.
And the Big Bang Theory is, the best way we can replicate it is with a particle accelerator.
The
Now,
CERN project. Correct?
what? I don't think so. I'd have to look that up. Accelerator, the particle accelerator is just this coil that you put two particles in, and you accelerate them, and they smash into each other.
Yes, that's the
Either
CERN
does
project.
nothing or makes something.
That's how...
The goal is to
there's
make
a conspiracy that,
things.
like, doing that caused the, have you heard of the Mandela effect?
Yeah, that's when you start to get a little iffy, a little weird.
Yeah.
There are points that can
that's a
prove
little out
it.
there.
Maybe next talk. But in space, there's no gravity. So the reason for a particle accelerator is that things are suspended and they are in their own space, so that they don't lose velocity. So in space, where two particles wouldn't lose velocity, they would just keep going until they hit, and that perfect hit, that perfect size, make a big boom.
Makes the perfect
setting.
setting for human life.
Exactly. Which,
Makes no sense.
like, I
Okay,
get what
so
they're going for, but
what-
it doesn't add up to me.
So what I have here is, because there's obviously, I know you question because of the way you said it, that there's gotta be something more to life than being a baby, going to school, graduating school, going to work, having a family, dying.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And
It doesn't matter if you're religious or scientific. If you look back and look at now, yeah, there's more out there. There's
And
something.
there's something that gave us the ability to love
Yeah.
and to feel.
Yeah.
And
Love is the only emotion that people can't. Oh, what was it? Like,
fake.
no,
People
not
can
fake.
love. I
Like,
just said that.
like vibes. Like love is a
Energy.
vibe. Love is a vibe.
That's
You can look at someone and you can see
Super,
anger. You can see fear.
super rainbow flag of you to say.
But you can look at someone and you can see anger. You can see
But
fear.
you feel love.
Depending on how their body language is, depending on how
Mhm.
they're structuring themselves. But someone can look and be this angry muscle gym bro and just have nothing but good intentions and love.
Yep.
And you're not going to know that unless you felt that. Like, that human connection, that one thing that can't be, really measured. Like, you can look at someone, you can see body language, you can evaluate them, and you can see fear, danger, but it's really hard to pick up on love. It's a weird emotion. One I could do without. Because I'm edgy. Yeah.
Emo
you.
rock star.
Fuck you.
But I wanted to end that topic on basically saying all of creation, from my knowledge, points to a creator.
Yes. That I agree with you on that in a different sense. Because I think the inanimate cannot make animate. Life comes from life. Doesn't matter if it's a plant, doesn't matter if it's a tree, a bug, an insect, a
That's
human,
God.
it doesn't matter. Life comes from life.
That's God.
Life can make
You
something.
just said God.
Life can make something that is not life,
God is life.
but not life cannot make something that is life.
Okay, so I just want the audience to see that in real time.
That is called an
That was the most
agnostic point of view.
agnostic thing
That
I've
is called
ever-
an agnostic
You
point of
just
view.
said, so there's a God.
No, I said there's something
He said there's a
You're
God.
religious,
And
so
a
you're saying the
weird-
one Father. I
Oh,
am
did my
agnostic,
thing get
and I'm
approved?
saying
It better
something.
Okay.
For all we know, there could be. It's gonna sound a little weird, but I'll say he's God. But above him is what you would call God. So like there may be a creator for us and Earth, and above him is God.
Oh, so you're like saying who
That's why I'm saying
created-
there could be something out there that made life. And that something could be below God, or it could be God, or it could be something else. There's no definitive proof that one entity made everything.
Okay. Okay. Alright.
Because if you
So
look
I'm
at
assuming we're running low on time, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
we gotta get dinner.
So we're not gonna react to this video I have.
We can do it on the next podcast because
Okay.
this honestly went pretty well, and I can decorate this wall for next time.
I got some stuff I can bring over too, if you're cool with
Oh
it.
yeah, that's fine.
There is a couple more things I want to say.
Okay.
two more
While
things.
you get those brought up, I'm gonna grab some socks.
Okay.
Cause we raw dogging it on a podcast. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna see
Got
that
no
though.
socks
Y'all don't
on.
get to see that.
I didn't even realize you weren't wearing socks this whole time. I got socks and shoes on.
You nasties. You nasties. Y'all don't get to see that.
Basically, I just wanted to
Got
tell a quick story.
Knee action.
Pastor, I'm not sure his name. It's a video.
Mm-hmm.
The pastor was talking about a dream that he had one time,
Mm-hmm.
where he was standing at the gates of heaven,
Mm-hmm.
right? And while he was standing there, he looked down, and he saw this human in hell
Mm-hmm.
walking around, grabbing people, ripping them up, like looking at everyone's face. All these dead, they were like soulless bodies, right? Like just
Mhm.
dead people. And he was looking at everyone's face, and then he, this is why I challenge you so much on belief, because he was looking down for, he was looking for someone. And then that guy looked down and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" Right? The guy in heaven
Mm.
was looking down and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he said, "You. I'm looking for you. You were this person that was supposed to tell me about Jesus."
Mm.
And you never did. So I've made it a very uncomfortable goal in my life to share Jesus with other people.
Mm. Anyone with faith does that, whether they're comfortable with it or not.
Yes. Which my mentor
We're
is very
social
comfortable.
creatures. We want people to be interested in our social constructs.
I want you to see eternal life.
So, from a
It's
religious
not
point
like
of view,
you live forever.
from a religious point of view, I get it, and I think it's a great idea. From an agnostic point of view, I don't care. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. From a
Agnostics.
from an Iean point of view, I struggle with depression and suicide a lot, but
Mhm.
people don't really know that or see that because I've done it my whole life. I've gotten very good at hiding it because I didn't really have people to talk to. So, as Iean, no, I do not want eternal life. I do not want to deal with this eternally. But in a religious sense, I know that's not how that works.
Yes.
You get absolved and you live an eternal, happy, perfect life
Yes.
in your perfect place.
Yes. It's perfection. It's
Which that sounds
there's a
great.
movie. There's a movie I just watched last night, and it's called Heaven
Be
Is
right
for
back.
Real. And I'm talking to the mic, but I'm talking to you. I know you can still hear me.
Yeah, I'm not
So,
going anywhere.
He's
I'm gonna
it's about
disappear for a minute.
It's a movie called Heaven Is for Real. It's about a little boy who, based on a true story, a little boy who had to go under like appendicitis surgery or something. They had to like fix his ruptured appendix, and
Yeah.
he had a very near-death experience. He
Had
didn't
an
die.
out-of-body experience.
He didn't die, but he had a near-death experience. He almost died. He was
Yeah.
supposed to die. Everyone thought he was going to die. He came back to life. Now,
He pulled a Jesus. Except
no.
it didn't take 3 days. I'm sorry.
Not quite. But basically, whenever he was on the surgery table, he said he ascended from his body. He saw the doctors working on him.
Mm-hmm.
He saw his dad in the church yelling at God. He saw his mom in the waiting room talking on the phone, asking people to pray for him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
This is
something had
not-
to happen where he saw that. Now, anyways, the point is, later on in the movie, he's going on and he's like walking in the hospital. I can't remember what they were doing. He was the dad was trying to pay for the hospital, but couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So this kid sees like them carry another kid away on a bed, cancer patient kid, and he was gonna die. And he ran and followed him. And he ran up there, and he was saying, because in his experience, he went to heaven as well. He not only saw what was going on the earth, he ascended. And that's how he saw what was going on around him, because he was ascending to heaven.
Yeah.
And then, so he said that he ran up to that kid and found him. Whenever he found him, he said, hey, nobody wants to hurt you where you're going.
Yeah.
And so like all the depression and stuff would go away. There would be no depression in heaven.
Yeah. On that note, I don't think out-of-body experiences are the one thing that I will, even as agnostic as I am in the way I view things, I will say is probably the closest to a religious event that I will believe without needing definitive proof. And the only reason for that is because it doesn't matter your profession, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter where you're from. Anywhere in the world where there are medical professionals and people who have done operations or surgeries, every single one of them universally will tell you they've had patients have that same thing happen.
Yep.
It is,
There was
it
a
is
girl-
one thing universal.
There was a girl in Russia who had a similar thing happen to her.
Exactly.
And she painted a picture of a man.
Now,
And it didn't look anything like any Jesus picture ever before. And she said, no, that's Jesus. I saw him. And then they showed it to that same boy from the movie, the real boy. And he said, yeah, that's what he looks like.
Now, the one thing that blurs lines for me, and I will say about that, and is the agnostic side, is a lot of people say when you're dying, you'll relive your life when you're dying, which is your brain.
Oh, we gotta talk about that. I'm gonna write that down because next time...
Yeah, we'll do that next time. I'll save it for next time.
Day of
juicy
Judgment.
talk.
Day of Judgment. Because I've heard a crazy story about that, and I don't know how it works. I can't claim to know how it works. I've never experienced it, but I do know a crazy story a theory about how it works.
Alright, well, your crazy story, and the way I view things, we'll have to save them for the next time, because I need to get dinner.
There is one
Before
last
we
thing
go
I
to bed.
have before I click the stop streaming button.
What is that? You're gonna
I'm going
show
to
your merch again?
show my merch
Show the
again.
merch.
Actually, I was going to do that, but I was going to wait, and I was going to say, this Sunday,
Yes.
10:30 a.m.,
What?
would you like to come to church with me?
I work Sundays.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you did.
I thought that was your day off. Sunday, Monday.
Oh, I think I need to follow up, but if it is Sunday, Monday, maybe I'll see.
We'll talk about it. Yeah,
We'll see.
Y'all heard it here.
We'll see. That's not a yes or no. That's a we'll see.
All
We'll
right.
see. But
All right. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, Journey Church NWA if you want to catch us both in person next Sunday.
merch. Check the merch.
Check the merch. You gotta come to church to get it.
We don't have a link in the
Church merch.
description below because it's not a real thing that you can get yet. It's fake. He won't tell you.
It's not real. But God is.